Welcome to another edition of On This Planet Earth. I'm in Mongolia right now, but this week we're going on a trip to the Republic of Moldova. How does that sound?
Great.
Thank you. It has been nearly 2 years since I lived in the Republic of Moldova as a Peace Corps volunteer. But when I lie awake at night and remember my travels and I revisit Moldova, most memories include beautiful sounds, and those sounds trigger the most beautiful of memories. Outside my apartment, children were always playing, and their constant chatter, laughter, cries, and general craziness were always a pleasant background to my daily life. Across the street was a playground, and the joyful and frenetic sounds of recess would always fill my lunch hour. Each year, on the first and last days of school, students would assemble on the grounds for first bell and last bell ceremonies. A highlight of the day was always when one of the older students and one of the youngest students would ring a bell to announce the beginning or end of classes for the school year. When school gets out for the summer, hundreds of children attend a residential camp where they learn sports, where they join together for evening activities, and they eat meals in the crowded dining hall. I could always hear from the wildlife and other animals, from birds and frogs to plenty of farm animals. Walk through a market and you'll hear chicks chirping amid the general sounds of commerce. There are a few animals that are a little harder on the ears. Roosters are everywhere, and people keep small dogs as burglar alarms. There isn't too much recreation in Moldova, but the sound of a man cutting a hole in the ice for fishing brings me back to my childhood in Maine. Moldovans have few indoor options, so you can always find children playing outdoors, enjoying the weather, rain, snow, or shine. Moldovans love music and dance, and the performing arts are the most popular activities in schools. Concerts and recitals are exciting to watch as students sing, play instruments, and dance almost like professionals. Performances go beyond the schools, and you can often catch a traditional band performing for a birthday party, celebrating a father's retirement, or just walking down the street. Christmas is recognized on the popular Christian day, December 25th, but is celebrated for the Orthodox Christian holiday in early January, when you'll hear many Moldovans say, Crăciun fericit. Each city and village chooses one day each year to celebrate its anniversary or their favorite saint. It's called Haram, and there's always plenty of music. And music fills many other events throughout the year. Though electronic music is taking over the pop culture in Moldova, it's not unusual to hear music from the United States. This Christmas. While many church bells in America have been replaced by recordings, they still can be heard throughout Moldova. The Orthodox method of ringing is called chiming, where only the clapper is moved and is struck against the bell. There isn't as much singing inside churches here, but I have had the unique pleasure of hearing grace sung before a meal. I will long remember hearing Father Tudor bless homes, offices, cars, and food for people, and especially during Easter when he blesses items for hundreds of people before sunrise and he holds services throughout the holiday. Just about any day in Moldova can be interrupted by the sounds of a car horns blowing as a wedding procession rolls by with people cheering and waving to start a party that will last all day and through the night. Or more somber funeral processions, usually with a person of honor riding on a flatbed truck, followed by hundreds of people praying and singing as they walk from the person's home to the cemetery. During my long walks through many villages and cities throughout Moldova, I could hear the sounds of many workers, like this blacksmith making axes at his home right in my city of Rishkan, or this noisy grain mill in Sumna that uses tools and methods that date back to the Stone Age. Moldovans work hard at home, and the sound of someone beating dust and dirt out of a rug is just part of the background noise. Wells for drinking water can be found every few blocks, and many are still in use, even through the cold, harsh winters. Even the subtle sounds of Moldova are beautiful, like hearing the wind blow through the sunflower or cornfields. It's always a relaxing experience to sit in a field with a Moldovan woman and listen to her picking daisies. You won't hear the noise of many gas-powered lawnmowers, string trimmers, or leaf blowers, as people still cut grass only once or twice a summer by hand, harvesting the grass to feed their animals. Another thing you won't hear is the sound of souped-up cars or motorcycles, as Moldovans are still very practical and are still stressed economically. But every once in a while, you'll hear an old Russian motorcycle with a sidecar go roaring by with that distinctive sound. On the dirt farm roads between villages, you'll often be alerted by the sound of a tractor racing from one field to another, delivering a fresh load of crops or going to pick up another load. A true Moldovan sound is that of horse-drawn wagons along the paved streets in villages and even large cities. These are the pickup trucks of Moldova. Riding up and down the ancient concrete Russian apartment buildings and ancient Russian elevators is eerie as you hear the crash of the steel gates and doors, the creaking of the machinery, the clicking of the safety brake in between floors, and finally the snap of the floor button when you arrive. So those are the sounds of Moldova that I remember oh so well. They are the sounds of a country emerging from the darkness of communism into the light of democracy. They are the sounds of beautiful people whose optimism, spirit, and joy will take them into a bold, new world. They are the sounds of Moldova, the sounds of hard work, of lasting friendships. They are the sounds of love.